Well, hey everybody, it's been quite a while. I am in the midst of graduating. I graduate this Friday. I'm really excited for that. But I've been really busy also watching all my movies from 1940 to 1950 as well. I have a whole big pile over there. You can't see it on the camera. But I wanted to talk to you today about Tully, this movie that I just recently saw. And it came out last week, but I really wanted to see this movie. So Tully is written by Jason Reitman, and the script is written by Diablo Cody, and they've actually worked together in several things beforehand. I'm going to probably just point it down below the things. I just remember Juno being one, and something else. I can't even remember what else they've written together. But this movie is starring Charlize Theron, Mark Duplass, Ron Livingston. We also have Mackenzie Davis as Tully herself. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the plot. I'm not going to really give any spoilers away. Tell you about what I liked about it and what I didn't like about this, and give you my overall score of the movie. So Tully starts out with Charlize Theron and Ron Livingston, who are husband and wife, and no, Charlize is not Tully. They are a husband and wife, and she is really very pregnant. She's almost about to pop with their third kid, and they actually already have two kids together. One girl who's probably roughly around 8, that's what it seems like. And then they also have another young kid who's probably around 5 or 6, maybe 7 years old, who's got some issues dealing with other kids and loud noises, and maybe is not all the way there, but he's kind of a special needs kind of kid. They kind of use a funny word in the movie. They keep using the word quirky, and which is actually really funny, but then it eventually drives Charlize's character mad, which is really funny. And they're like, what does that word mean? And you see this intense breakdown. So it's about those kids and the husband, and then Charlize Theron has her third kid, who is, she was very pregnant in the very beginning of the story, and she has it in the first 20 minutes, and then she just gets super overwhelmed with dealing with their son, having all these needs, dealing with the new baby, the dad not really being present the entire time because he's just pretty much playing video games. But I mean, he's a good dad. He's just not really there all the time. He just helps with the homework and has the 9-to-5 job, while she stays at home and kind of deals with all the kid stuff. And so you see this breakdown of Charlize Theron's character the entire movie. And for a while, she just doesn't have any help with this at all. Now they have dinner one night with her brother, who's actually played by Mark Duplass. And Mark Duplass, he's just like, hey, I know this might be a bougie kind of thing because he's like kind of rich. He's like, but we have a night nanny, and she takes care of the kids at night and wakes you up if they need a breastfeed or anything like that. You should really look into this thing. Charlize Theron eventually is like, oh, finally enough is enough. After about a month, a really great montage of all these things happening to her. She's having to deal with all these things. It's really strange and really intimate at the same time in a gross way. It's hard to explain. That's when Tully, who's Mackenzie Davis, she comes in and pretty much is going to take over for Charlize Theron and take care of her and obviously the kid, the baby. And so that's where the story kind of starts and evolves into, and actually there's some really cool things that happened near the last act of the movie that I don't really want to spoil because it's really something worth watching. And this something about this movie that I really enjoyed, that I really can't spoil about, but I really loved the way this story was set up and how it was told. Now, the only thing that I would say that was bad, in my opinion, was the very slow start, and it had some kind of grotesque things going on, and in my eyes, obviously, maybe it's just human things that I haven't dealt with myself because I'm not a mother, nor do I have a family to take care of, so I haven't dealt with babies and kids, because kids and babies are gross, and that's just what happens. So that's not really a negative thing about the movie. It's just something, you know, as an audience member myself, I'm just like, ooh, that's why I don't have kids or something. You know, I obviously don't want to get on a rambling on that. And so another thing is, the act at the very beginning was a little slow to build, but I understand what was going on. It's trying to set the entire thing up to where there's this second and last act where it all, you know, climaxes, and it's really worth it. And so that's actually the only bad things I can say about this movie. I really love this movie. Tully is an ode to motherhood and early motherhood, especially. The psychological breakdown you see of Charlize Theron's character is just, it is so intense, and on top of that, you just see all these things happening to her, and also even Ron Livingston's character, and even on the kids, you can see that as well. And so I really loved this kind of just nice, heartwarming kind of tale. It's really weird. It's a little quirky, if you will. And so I would definitely recommend checking out Tully. Definitely stay, watch that first act, and then just keep watching it because it's really good. So I give this movie a 4 out of 5. Not my most in-depth review, but I really don't want to say too much about it because it's kind of a movie that kind of unfolds as you watch it, and that's something that I really loved about this movie. It's a very nice, warm movie, especially to mothers, and my mother is the best mother in the world. Sorry to everyone out there on YouTube. I love my mother so much. All right, well, thank you so much for listening to my review on Tully, my non-spoiler review. I want to hear your thoughts down on Tully down below. Have you heard this movie? Have you watched it? I want to hear your thoughts. Give me a like, comment down below. Don't forget to share this video and also subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm not jonesing around.